Venezuela. Is the Biden administration about to do something, ratchet up pressure, or to start a new war? And it doesn't always mean a shooting war. It could be a proxy war, an economic war. There's so many different types of warfare out there at the disposal of world leaders. I'm wondering why all of a sudden this is happening. Let's go into this story, and I want to remind you that Venezuela has been actively pursuing BRICS nation status, meaning they want to join forces with countries like China, Russia, India, Saudi Arabia, and so many more. The U.S. is drastically, rapidly losing its grip on power around the world. It says on Thursday, May 9th, the U.S. Embassy in Guyana reported that 2 U.S. Navy aircraft, F-18F Super Hornets, embarked on USS George Washington, conducted a coordinated and approved flyover Georgetown and its surrounding areas. Now, why is this important? It says the exercise builds upon our routine security cooperation and expanding bilateral defense partnership with Guyana, the embassy said in a release. Why did they have to put out a release? Because it was a big deal. It fired up a lot of people. Furthermore, the U.S. Navy aircraft carrier USS George Washington and Carrier Strike Group 10 are in the region as part of a 2-month transit to the Pacific. In a statement, the Guyanese government confirmed the flyover, stating the government of Guyana approved the flyover of the 2 F-18 Super Hornets of the United States Navy in Georgetown on May 9th, 2024. It was further explained that the exercise is part of the defense cooperation agreement between Guyana and the United States, aimed at enhancing security within the ongoing cooperation program between the two countries. Well, this is really important to know. It says the flyover of the U.S. aircraft come amidst the ongoing territorial dispute between Guyana and Venezuela over the Essequibo region, which led both countries to present their arguments before the International Criminal Court in April. Isn't it interesting? All of these wars right now that are happening around the world are over territory. They are also being fought over what people don't realize is that countries are now shifting who once was another country's ally is now quickly becoming its enemy. All around the world, geopolitics is proving the shift, a major shift in economies around the earth. And the world is splitting into 2 segments. The BRICS nations on one end and Western powers, Canada, Europe, the US. And it seems like the rest of the world is walking away. Now, it is interesting that just recently a few South American countries have pledged their allegiance to the United States, especially in the midst of them having a change in leaders, where the last leader wanted to join BRICS, then the new leader pops in and goes, I want nothing to do with BRICS, I'm going to America. I think that our 3-letter agencies are working overtime around the world to try and turn countries away from BRICS status. But quite frankly, I'm concerned that it's a little too late. We are now seen as or have been seen for quite some time, as the bad influence on the earth. I think that voting Congress out in type 1, if you agree, would be completely the first most amazing epic start. Our politicians are getting so corrupt and dirty, it is disgusting. And term limits would absolutely stop that. It says General Vladimir Padrino Lopez, defense minister of the Nicolas Maduro regime, the leader of Venezuela. Hold on real quick, let me see something. Okay, Duncan, thank you so much for the super chat. So the Bolivian National Armed Forces vehemently reject these repeated provocations by the Southern Command, sponsored by the government of Guyana, which has assumed the role of a new American colony. Our comprehensive aerospace defense system remains activated against any attempt to violate Venezuelan geographical space, including our Essequibo territory alerts. Hey, real quick, Carlos, can you do me a favor and get his email for me? The gentleman that says about the dreams, if you could do that, that'd be great. Sorry, everyone. This sentiment was echoed by Venezuelan Foreign Minister Yvonne Gill, who asserted that the flyover threatened the peace zone agreed upon between Maduro and President Irfan Ali. In February of this year, the U.S. government announced an increase in its urgent military aid to Guyana as Venezuela threatens to seize a large part of the country's territory claimed as its own. In this context, Washington pledged to assist Guyana in acquiring new aircraft, helicopters, a fleet of military drones, and for the first time, radar technology. Look, I have to be honest with you. I do not think that normally, under normal circumstances, the U.S. would get involved here. But because they understand the strength of Venezuela's economy when it comes to their oil production and the fact that they want to move in line with BRICS, and that this will yet be, it is already one more massive holder of resources in the world that is shifting away from US dollar trade. That's why they're doing this. The whole world is watching every step Biden makes. And quite frankly, when he's not falling upstairs or eating ice cream or letting children rub his hairy legs, not my story. It seems like the White House is constantly starting trouble. It's a totally different shift in the world than 4 years ago. If you agree with that, type 3. Also, can everyone say thank you to Carlos and Neil for being such awesome moderators? I really appreciate them. They don't have to do this. They do it out of the goodness of their heart. They're awesome guys. And I do believe that you're going to see more of these territorial disputes ratchet up with our tax dollars funding it. And it's very scary because Biden's looking to boost, capital gains just through the roof. That'll cause a stock market crash because people will pull their money out of the stock market before they pay 40, 50% in capital gains. The government keeps hiring more IRS agents. They are not for the rich people. Remember, I want to remind you this. The only way the tax system, income tax, came into existence in the early 1900s is because they said it was for the rich people. Good news. Think about this. Type 6 if you paid any tax, income tax, any of it, type 6. And remember, do you qualify as rich? Do you look at yourself as wealthy? No, it was all a scam. Just like those tens of thousands of IRS agents you're being told are just for wealthy people, they're not. They're coming to tax you to death. They want us to be slaves, and I absolutely do not accept it. If you don't accept it, hashtag Ninja Nation. We're a group of people that are smart enough, and we've got the fortitude to get through this. And the only way we get through this is we take back the wealth that was stolen by our politicians. They want to start endless wars. They want to send our children off to war. They don't care what happens to them. Let's get ready for this. Get out of debt. Get into less debt. Buy inflation hedges. Keep that credit score together. And as this thing comes falling down, we're going to go crush it. Have a great day. The Economic Ninja. Oh, one last thing. If you don't mind signing up for the newsletter, it only makes this whole group and movement stronger. I really appreciate it. The Economic Ninja is out.